This video's not made for kids, you crazy bitch-ass bastard!
Come with me to the Cedrian Isle off the coast of Britain. It's about 60 miles. There's good and there's bad and there's stuff in between. With steamies and diesels, you'll see what I mean. People and parcels, works lots of fun. Watch these engines out in the snow, rain, and sun. They work real hard, they stay on track. Oh no, there's some baddies, just watch your back. Are you looking for fun? Yes, we're looking for fun. Are you being really useful? We're being really useful. Sit back and relax. It's the tales of the Northwestern Rails. It's the tales of the Northwestern Rails. Hope you enjoy. What the dickens, Tiger Moth? Picking up trucks. I like picking up trucks. 1 truck, 2 truck, 3 truck, 4. I like trucks and I like some more. Oh, thank you, Mr. Blue-Bellied Whoopee. One warm morning, Humphrey went to the North Napper Harbor to pick up a train to take to Kildane. Morning, Sonny! Is my train ready?
Not yet, Humphrey. Let me just shunted some materials to the ship.
Well, that's fine. I could give him a head start and arrange my own train. So that's what Humphrey did. He started to arrange some rolling stock ready to take to Kildane. But the trucks weren't too fond of the idea.
Oi! This is Sonny's place! Humphrey doesn't decide what rolling stock goes to where!
Well, first off, our schedule is tight, and second off, I like this arrangement because the box vans act as a shield from the tanker. And thirdly, Sonny's kind of occupied at the moment.
What's all this then?
Oh, Sonny, thank goodness you're here. You could do a much better job than this engine's shunting. My shunting?
Oh my god, we're dead.
Coffee pots, shunt. Tank engines, shunt. Mid-sized tender engines, shunt. I organize, and organizing is an art! The trucks were startled. One of them was shaking so much he lost his load. Everyone heard the clatter behind them.
Sounded like the flatback behind you. Here, let me shunt it to you. Say, I'll shunt it to you with this wooden beam.
Absolutely not. Sonny, you better not be causing trouble again.
Oh, no, Gordon. I was just about to shunt this flatbed with the wooden beam as I'm parallel with the track beside me.
Ugh. Now that's a tactical that hasn't been done for a long time. It's called pooling. If it weren't for the dangers of the pooling, it would still be used for shunters today.
Wait. You, Gordon? You and a couple other engines pulled on Sodor? I thought it was just an American thing. I didn't think it would happen on Sodor too.
Indeed, some other railways in the UK pooled too. I'll bet not 100% at the same degree as the US. Would you like to hear about it?
I really love to, but I can't stay for long. I gotta take this train to Kildane. Perhaps Sonny would like to hear about it.
Ooh, I'd love to hear it.
So Humphrey left North Knapford Harbor with his goods train. And Sonny parked alongside Gordon to hear about their pulling.
Very well. It was around late 1948.
It was during a time when the big engines had to arrange their own trains. Back then, it used to be Thomas as the station pilot since 1946. But during that year, after saving James from a nasty derailment at the cow's field, he was rewarded to run on the Farquhar branch line. So now, without a station pilot, the big engines would have to shunt their own trains. Now, for a good period of time, Gordon enjoyed shunting. He liked disciplining the trucks. One day, he was resting at the shunting yard when one of the Brendam branch line engines puffed alongside him.
Hello, Gordon. Resting for the express?
No, steward. I'm resting from shunting. James has the express today. How are things on the Brendan branch line?
I'd say it's been really good. Clay was recently discovered, 2 new tank engines have been bought, Edward just got relocated to work on the branch line, and me along with the other lads are being relocated to other stations as pilots.
Ah, how relieving. Us big engines will no longer shunt our own trains at last.
Oh, well, none of us have been relocated to shunt at Knapford. I'm on my way to Tidmouth.
Beg pardon? None of you? Can't one of those new tank engines be brought here to shunt?
That would be a good idea if they weren't owned by the China Clay Company. That's the new business at the clay pits on Brendam. Sorry, Gordon. Chin up. I'm sure something will turn up.
Oh, the indignity!
The next day, Henry was arranging a train for Edward.
Watch it! Watch it!
His load on the flatbed came loose.
Oh, bother! The chain snapped. Gordon, could you lend me a coupling hook?
Gordon approached alongside and surveyed the scene.
Bad news. Henry can't steam up. Gordon, can you shunt Henry off to the side, then shunt the wagons to Edward?
He then noticed one of the wooden beams that fell off, and an idea fluttered into his smoke box.
Hold up. I think I got an idea. If Henry can't shunt the trucks up to Edward, maybe I can. Quick, plop that wooden beam between me and the flatbed.
The workmen propped the wooden beam between Gordon's buffer beam and the flatbed's buffer beam, and Gordon slowly pushed the rolling stock up to Edward. He then went back to shunt Henry away in a siding to get steamed up again, shunted a brake van normally, and Edward departed with his train. The workmen were astounded.
Oh my goodness, that was quite crafty. We must inform Sir Topham Hatt about this.
So that's what they did. They rallied up everyone, including Sir Topham Hatt.
Well, you lads are in for a treat.
Gentlemen, and James, I present to you lot a new trick of hunting adapted from the land of the free and the home of the brave, as they nicknamed it. Are you tired of moving from siding to siding, arranging rolling stock out of place? Well, say goodbye to those days, because we've got a new trick up our cylinders. Or should I say, a new stick up our cylinders. Take a gander.
So far, everyone was amazed with how the thing was done. Gordon shunted the hopper right down the coal truck transfer chute.
Impressive.
hell are we clapping?
I have no idea.
Sir Topham Hatt gave out his critique.
Impressive. Very well. You may use this polling technique as long as you are cautious.
The engines were delighted. So, every once in a while in the shunting yard, everyone pulled their rolling stock. Even James was amused by it.
This is perfect. It keeps my shiny paint away from these dirty trucks.
Shunting a truck with a stick. Rather queer, wouldn't you say?
No denying, but at least it saves some time.
Even Edward and Thomas had a little time pulling. Edward found it a bit odd. Thomas, well, way cheeky as always.
Oops, sorry.
Goodness, little Thomas. To think you'd learned some common sense after your frequent runs on the branch line.
You should have seen him leave his garden on a platform.
Did he now?
Yes, sir. And he also went fishing, got stuck in a snowdrift, and just recently raced a bus. Read a book.
It's rather unfortunate to say, the polling tactic was not 100% perfect. Accidents started to arise. First off, when the poll bounced about, there would be some occasions where it would knock the crew off the footplate of the rolling stock. Engines had that problem too. When the pole would land on the rails or set of points, they would derail. Poor James found out the hard way.
Blimey, James, what happened?
The pole bounced off onto the points and I derailed. Fetch the breakdown train immediately.
That afternoon, Henry paid a visit to the Provin's Gate Works. Henry, do your tubes need clearing up again? It's the second time this month.
Not this time. I like you mates to go also recheck your shunter poles, please.
So the workmen got to work, bolting on some freelance jousting poles. Back at the shunting yard, Gordon brought out the breakdown train.
Try and shunt me now, huh?
James's tender was re-railed, and as they were going to get James next, they heard some familiar wheezing puffing.
There's Henry. Where's he been?
What is he wearing?
It was Henry, with a little modification on his footplate.
Miss me, boys? I did a little upgrade on myself to skip the part where pole is propped. Flank wagon left, corner pocket. Oops, too hard.
After James was re-railed, they cleaned up Henry's mess next. And there, watching from the side, loomed Sir Topham Hatt.
Oh dear. These accidents have caused confusion delay in the yard, and this type of action Henry pulled off is the final nail in the coffin. From this day forward, there will be no more polling. All of our engines will shut their rolling stock as normal. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
And he turned on his heels and walked away from the scene. Once the mess was cleared, the engines got back to work as normal, shunting trucks normally and never polling again. Good timing, too. It was during the 1950s when polling became prohibited for railways across the globe. The big engines were still grumbling of having to arrange their own trains. And the only time that they weren't cross was when the circus came to town. They even had a good laugh about Henry's encounter with the elephant.
The engines got back to being cross after the circus left the island, and after a couple incidences with tenders and turntables, the three big engines had enough and decided to go on strike. But we all know that story, don't we?
Wow. Who knew that action as simple as a little shunting trick could let into trouble?
Quite so, Sonny. It taught us such a lesson that while cutting corners may save time, in some cases, the risks aren't worth taking. Now then, I have to continue with my torch train. Have a good 79th anniversary, Sonny!
Thanks, Gordon. You too.